guys, we got a special episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about the Stranger Things finale. We're going to give our non-spoiler takes and then our spoiler takes right after. But either way, welcome to PhilmPod, where we break down films in the way anyone can enjoy. Whether you're new to movies or a seasoned fan, you're in the right place. And to my left, as always, I got my boy, Isaiah ZBB Aramia.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing today, man? It's a Saturday. It's rainy. We chilling. What's going on?
It's perfect vibe, but this is like maybe TMI. I need to clean my cat's litter, like deep clean it, and it's been raining. So I think I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and do it in the rain today.
Do it, man.
I think
Just
I have to
do it,
give
trust
in.
me.
Yeah, it's bad, so something needs to happen about that.
Nah, but how's your week been ever since that last podcast episode we had, which you guys should check out?
Look, it's been good. I'm stressing about our top 10 projects. It's driving me insane. I'm still finishing things up. I have 3 more movies to watch, and I have like 3 episodes of a show I need to watch, and then I'm done, and I'm good. So I'm going to watch another movie today, and then I'll probably watch another one tomorrow. Like, I'll finish it. I'll be good. I'm just like trying to organize everything, and it's driving me insane.
Hey, that's good, man. That's literally what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure there weren't any TV shows that I missed, because I watched some, but I'm trying to make sure there was some I'm trying to make sure that I have everything on my list.
Yeah.
Like that I want to have on my list.
100%.
I almost lost one, or I almost gave disrespect to one of them, so I'm glad that that's finally on there, but I'm excited for this next podcast.
It's going to be fun. Excited. Stay tuned, guys. It's the best podcast of the year always. It's my favorite. It's so fun to do. We just get to gush the entire time about the things we love. But
sir, let's
talk about something we may or may not have loved, and I'm super curious to hear what you think, Phil. The Stranger Things finale is out. Everyone has seen it. Everyone has given their very loud, objective opinions on what they think, and whether or not their opinions are gospel. Certainly, our opinions are not gospel. And at the end of the day, these are our opinions. So if you want to kill us, attack us, feel free. I don't care. But please be respectful to both of us.
Yes.
Phil, let's start with our number scores. We'll go non-spoiler. We're just talking about the finale. For this episode, do you want to just mainly talk about the finale? I feel like we've kind of talked about the other two. I don't think we need to do a whole thing. I mainly want to get into the weeds.
I mean, if there was anything you wanted to catch up on,
we'll go straight. Let's go full finale, Phil. I want to hear your number score first. I'll give mine, and no spoilers. We'll get into spoilers after. So take it away.
All right. So this one was tough. I wrestled because I was for sure I had my rating score at the first 40 minutes of this, but then later kind of changed a little bit. So I'm gonna stick with a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. I thought it was gonna be lower, but I gave it grace for some reasons that we're gonna talk about later.
Awesome.
What about you? What's up?
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I was very whelmed by this finale. I wasn't insanely impressed. I wasn't super disappointed. To me, it did exactly what it needed to do and played it incredibly safe. So I wasn't upset. I was pretty satisfied actually with the ending, but I just expected a little bit more.
Yeah. So do we want to go into a little bit of like a little walkthrough of this finale?
Because for full spoiler conversation, I can watch this. Don't worry, I got you. All right, here we go. We're going full spoilers now. Let's get into the weeds. But first, let's do a brief breakdown of what's going on. All right.
Yeah.
Put it simply, the Stranger Things crew. It's time for one last battle against the big bad Vecna. All right, they're in the Upside Down, heading straight for Dimension X. We have two groups doing their things, right? We got the main group going for Vecna, and we have 11, Hopper, Murray, and Callie doing their thing to try and make sure that they get this place blown the frick up. All right? Both those plots develop in certain ways. Something that's really important is also technically a third team, 11, Callie, and Max together in Vecna's mind, trying to figure out how they're going to get to him properly. All right.
Yeah.
Boom. You have your laid out. Everything's laid out perfectly. Okay. As things go on, things ensue. Things happen. People get hurt. Obviously, they give us a crazy Steve fake out death. That was insane. He doesn't actually die, but I mean, I didn't think he was dead. I'm not gonna lie. Look, film rule number 1: if a character's about to die, You don't cut away from it because it either means they're not dead or you kill the moment and it doesn't make it hit as hard because it's like, what the heck? Like, what? It makes it confusing. So yeah, I knew he wasn't dead. It just made the most sense. Regardless, you get that team go up to Dimension X. You have Hopper making sure to protect Callie and 11, and you have Murray setting up the bombs. All right, but then Vecna shows up in Hopper's mind. He's like, Hopper, you suck. You killed your daughter. That's what he says. And Hopper, freaking out, shoots the container 11 is in that is connecting them to Vecna's mind, basically causing everything to go crazy, making their life a little bit more difficult. At the same time, military shows up. Military then pieces them all up, gets them arrested, all that jazz, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They pull out, doesn't really matter. They save the day. It's like, yay, we're alive. Who cares? And then 11 finds a perfect hopping place to get into Dimension X so that she can go help them fight Vecna. She does that. We don't see her. Let's go back to the main team. Main team, big castle, Vecna's castle, actually a spider monster. It comes out and starts running, all right? Nancy's being sick. She's freaking blasting that thing to death. All the team is getting situated, getting ready. For their moves. Will is trying to talk down Vecna. He's like, yo, Vecna, bruh, like, you don't have to be bad. You're actually a good guy. You just kind of you wandered into a random situation. He's like,
the mind player has control over you.
He's like, nah, that's still me though. And he don't care. So he was like, screw you, Will. And then whatever. 11 finally shows up. She breaks into the hole. They go into a pretty cool fight, in my opinion. Will snaps Vecna's arm off. 11 grabs her and shoves him into the spikes. Vecna's dead. What? And then Joyce gets the final blow on Vecna, saying, you effed with the wrong family, and chops off her head. Maybe being one of the most satisfying moments of the show, and in my opinion, just a very satisfying moment in TV in general. It hit. It felt really good. I got chills. Keep it moving. We now get 40 minutes of epilogue, which we'll talk about, but that's kind of just the weeds of what's going on.
I was gonna say, let's talk about the stuff before the epilogue. So, like our little reactions to like everything that was going on, like them coming forward, because you explained everything, but let's talk about how we felt during all that. Yeah. What did you think about? Well, one, the scene where Hopper shot the tank. Like, how did you react when that happened?
I loved it. I was super in. I thought that scene was intense. It was scary. It was the kind of intensity I expected. It felt like season 4 a bit with Vecna, where he just kind of shows up and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It felt amazing. It was awesome. I think I'd feel better about it if they did that a couple more times and I felt the dread a lot more. But I honestly just didn't really feel the dread. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
After that.
I'm not going to lie. Like, when they were in, I guess, Vecna's mind, and then they said he disappeared, I went, oh, this is when it's going. This is when we get, like, ultimate Vecna or something. And then so when he shows up and he starts messing with Hopper's mind, and he makes him shoot the tank, I went, bro, Vecna's on his, like, he's on his globe right now. He's going in. And I thought he was going to hop over to the next group and then mess with them, and then it was going to turn this whole mind thing. But that was the only kind of scene we got with him messing with everything. And I kind of wanted, I think this is going to be bad to say, I kind of wanted that to be like another death on Hopper's like mind that he messed up. I kind of wish that he did shoot 11 and kill her.
That would have been too insane.
But that's what I think. I feel like it should have been like it. That would have dropped everyone's jaws. That would have been
she's too major of the story where that would have changed everything. Like, you can't do that. Yeah, but it would have felt so abrupt. Like, oh, this character that we love so much, Hopper accidentally kills. Like, that's just like, eh. That feels more of a horror movie thing than like a horror movie, hour 40 movie thing, not a thriller TV show that's been going on for 10 years with this character that we love, that's not really doing her justice.
Then in that case, I wish he just broke the tank then. Like banging it instead of shooting it. Because how did he not hit her? Like, that's kind of my question. How did he not hit her?
Well, I think it was more so that it never penetrated the glass. It just it like broke the glass. I thought
Okay,
that's what
so
it was.
like the bullets just like got
Yeah,
stuck
like it
in there?
cracked
Okay.
enough of the glass and then he broke it. Or maybe he never like, yeah, I don't know. Freaking weird. Still intense scene. I liked it a lot. Um I look, I think the problem with me wasn't
Mhm.
the epilogue, the last 40 minutes.
Mhm.
The problem for me was the final fight.
Oh yeah.
And
Let's get it.
it wasn't that it was a big CG battle with a giant spider monster. I actually thought that was a really cool reveal. I actually really enjoyed 11 and Vecna's fight. I enjoyed lots of it. I
Mhm.
just remember them stabbing him through the chest with that metal thing and being like, okay, that seemed too easy.
Yeah.
Did
Wait,
you
you
feel a
talking about
similar
the
way?
little? Are you talking about when 11 pushed Vecna into that spike?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is because I was already inside. Like the tank scene got me in. Everyone meeting, and then the mind flayer becoming this super huge, like physical, weird looking Godzilla spider. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. The fight did not like at all. I was very like, what the heck? Nancy was cool. I thought it was. I thought it was tough for going like, nah, I'll be the bait. But didn't like everything. Didn't like that everybody went on top of those two little cliffs and were just like, yeah, let's take it. And then they eventually beat it. But when Vecna got stabbed through the spike, I was thinking, oh, this can't be it. Like, there's got to be more. So I kind of did hate for a second that I was believing it was over. But then when Joyce comes up and starts cutting off his head, I went, okay, this is actually a pretty nice scene. It's pretty nice. But there's still more after this, right? There's like an hour left of this. Like there's still more. Right when she cuts off his head, I went, okay, I'm happy if that's the end of Vecna. But what about the Mind Flayer? That's when I was kind of like, is there more? When it cuts and everything's done, I went, that's really it? That I don't know how long the battle actually was. People keep saying it was 5 or 6 minutes, but
I think it was like 20.
I think it was 20. But no matter what, that was very underwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Like the fight overall was very underwhelming. Like I'm glad that Joyce was the one who got to kill, like give the final blow to Vecna. But for a guy you built up like in season 4 as this like great big bad, like a villain that everybody was making memes about, going like this guy might be like one up there with Thanos and everything. That was the most underwhelming and most I hated it. I hated that fight and that ending for him. Cause in my mind, I was like, he literally just said he got stronger. He literally like when he was going up against 11, he literally said like, in my mind, I was thinking there was no way they were gonna win. I was thinking this is gonna be a crazy battle, and for that it to end like that, I was very disappointed. Very. But I guess Joyce delivering the final blow did make me not as angry.
Hmm.
I like the flashbacks too.
I I think for me what it was is it was I think something I might have brought up either just with you or something I said on the podcast, and it was
Mhm.
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that Vecna Will has Vecna's power
Mhm.
if they're not gonna like incorporate that in the plot in any sort of way that's gonna turn on them, like the main Stranger Things team.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
what I didn't like. I didn't really have a problem with 11 beating Vecna. I thought it made
Mhm.
sense for the
Yeah.
most part. I think if they had a really cool fight and then 11 like overpowers him, that's
Yeah.
fine. But I think it would have been more interesting and a lot more intense if something happened with Will.
Yeah.
It kind of just felt super easy because Will's outside of this place, not even in the room, being able to like
Exactly.
snap his arm off. And I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me Vecna's plan was, okay, I'm going to give this kid my power and he's just going to use it against me and I lose?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I was genuinely waiting for that whole thing to be like, yeah, I knew that would happen. I was waiting
Yeah.
for you to tap into it. Okay,
Exactly.
perfect. Now I can execute my plan. No.
Yeah.
Oh no, you figured out how to use my power and now my arm is gone. Like, what the heck? That was dumb. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really with this.
I low key thought Will was gonna. Oh my bad. If you have another thought.
I was just saying, but I just, I didn't hate them all like fighting the spider monster. I need to make that very clear. I didn't hate that at all. I understand if it's too big. I understand if that doesn't make like it's like what is the show now? I don't know. I didn't mind it. I actually thought the spider monster looked really cool. And it felt very Dungeons and Dragons, the fight. It was just like team like on different heights using like here we're using fire or whatever. And then, oh, we're under here and we're stabbing this thing. Like it just didn't, to me, it didn't bug me. But I just wanted more from Vecna himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this was to me, this was the most underwhelming end to a villain. Like that was built up so well. Like, what I was going to say was I thought he was going to use Will in the final fight as a shield and like make everybody try to like, decide, should we kill him? Should we dodge him? Should we like try to hurt him in some way, like to get him out the fight? I thought it was going to be like that because remember that scene where like Will goes, ow, ow. And like, he's like, you guys go ahead of me. And then Joyce stays with him. Yeah. And I was thinking something was going to come out of that. When it turned into just what you said, he's from a far distance and he goes, not afraid of you anymore. Arm rips off. I was kind of like, so Vecna didn't have control of him? Like he didn't have more, what? It was just underwhelming. And the fight, like, don't get me wrong, the huge Mind Flayer spider thing, that was cool. That was insane. But that fight overall with everybody chipping in, I just didn't like it, bro. It was way too easy. Way too easy.
It was way too easy, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think that through all the stuff they've been through, especially from season 1 to season 4, all the fights they've been, like how they had to figure everything out, that was way too easy of a finish for them. Especially when these are like the main 2 villains that built up this show that planned everything, that caused them the most problems. It didn't seem right. It didn't seem fulfilling. Once again, Joyce killing Vecna, awesome, but the Mind Flayer being there and Vecna at the same time, it seemed unbelievable to me. It seemed way too, I'm just going to say way too easy. Because
it was way too easy, yeah. And that's my problem too, is I just agree. I think it was way too easy. The big spider monster, for me, I literally don't care. For me, it's just like, whatever, that's fine. For me, I just felt like they killed Vecna too easy. I'm like, I don't know if 11 slowly pushing him into a spike, and Will just like snapping his arm, them winning was just like, what the heck? Like all that for that? Like what about a fight where they're all there and they're all freaking like wailing on him all sides? Yes. I feel like that would have just been a lot more satisfying, Like everyone got their lick in, But
it's chapter to it.
I think what I would want more, and I talked to my brother about this, is I think where the season as a whole just I think falls short was the plot with the other, like the 12 kids. I think if you completely get rid of that and instead have Vecna go back for Will now that he can tap into his power and kidnap him again, and it's sort of like a callback to season 1. They're trying to go back and get Will, but they're like 100% of like they're aware of what's happening. That would have been better for me. And I think it would have added a lot more emotional weight. It would have kept it relatively small so it doesn't feel as big. It would have allowed Vecna to go for a bunch of different, like a lot more of the characters and affect them. It's like, hey, I took your friend. There, let's get into Mike's head. Let's get into Joyce's head. Let's get into Hopper's head. Let's get into, like, I feel like you could have done a lot more if you went that route. But with the route that they went in, I wasn't upset by it, but I was very like, all right, like, that's it.
I was upset, man. Yeah. I really was. Only because, like, now, I told you before, and I said it on the podcast, I'm rewatching season 1. Now I'm on season 2. And I just really feel like what you just said, Vecna taking over everybody's minds, especially Will, should have been part of the final fight. Like,
yeah, like, there should have been a lot more mind games.
Yeah, definitely more mind games, definitely more tricks, definitely, especially more deaths. 1,000% more deaths.
No, I disagree. I wasn't mad. I just don't think it's that kind of show.
It's just, bro, this whole, maybe it's just because, once again, I'm not a true Stranger Things fan. It just seemed too easy.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. But I think there's a way of adding stakes to something without killing off people. You know? Like, I don't think you need to just murder everyone and like make it like look. I understand. I think it's definitely easier to make something more intense by killing off a couple more characters. But this show was never that. Like, it never really did kill off their major characters. Literally never. And maybe they should have killed off one more. I think Eleven's end was very ambiguous, and she may or may not be dead. Who knows? I think she's alive. But I think like she was the perfect kill off, and being the perfect like she's in this season, so we'll murder her. But I think those two characters were like, okay, good. Like, I felt the weight of what was happening in that end sequence. I just wish during the final fight with Vecna, there was a little bit more like dread. There was a little bit more like, oh, I don't know if we can do this, you know?
Yeah, I want to ask you something too. So there was something posted yesterday by Discussing Film that was something the Duffer Brothers talked about.
The Demogorgon thing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. How do you feel about that? Because I was kind of expecting some Demobats, Demogorgons, Demodogs to come out of nowhere and cause some problems in Dimension X. Do you feel like that was needed, or do you feel like there was no need for them?
I think their explanation was dumb.
Yeah.
I think the explanation was really dumb. That felt like a cop out. That felt like a oh yeah.
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. This is from the source is the rap. This is from Discussing Film on Twitter. This is what the Duffer Brothers said about the Demogorgons. Mainly, it's just that Vecna was not expecting the sneak attack on his home turf. Never in a million years could he even imagine that. They're there somewhere. Bro.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
I think it's like the logic is there, I guess, but come on, dude, you telling me a freaking like ruler of a like look, kings don't have their nights out because they're just like kings aren't like, oh yeah, you guys can take the day off. No one's gonna attack me today. Like, and like that's what's dumb is like Vecna knows they're coming to them because he's connected to Will. So I don't know. That was dumb. I was like, just shut up. Why are you talking? I didn't even think about it until you brought it up. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's what bugs me the most, because once again, he got into Hopper's mind. He got into Eleven's mind. He knew what Callie was thinking, obviously, but how do you not expect a sneak attack, especially when they're still in your mind and not even at Dimension X? You know they're coming.
Yeah.
You know they're coming. How does Vecna just go, nah, they're never gonna sneak attack me in Dimension X, like I'm just gonna mess with their minds? How in no chance did he check Hopper's mind? Did he not check Eleven's mind and go, oh, they have a plan to come up to Dimension X. Let me put some Demogorgons, Demobats, or Demodogs, whatever the heck those things are called out there. Let me just add 2 or 3 of them. Like, what?
And I think even the potential of, instead of doing the big spider monster fight, instead doing the whole a bunch of Demogorgons fight, and they're just sort of trying to get their way into Vecna's lair, would have worked the same. So your reason doesn't make that much sense. Like, why not have them there if they're there? You know, like they should be there. And also, perfect opportunity to have Will go crazy and freaking just murder them. He's the key. Like, it's like, oh, maybe it's not realistic. Like, how are the team going to be able to live that? Okay, sure, maybe you kill one character, but Will is literally, like, we've seen Will murder, and he's able to tap into it a lot more now, so why not have him just...
Episode 4.
Yeah.
Episode 4. The episode everybody talked about nonstop. The episode everybody loved in season 5. How do you not incorporate Will killing some more Demogorgons?
Yeah.
The way that did. That would have been so sick. That would have made me like the fight more. Even if if we just had one mode of him going like, nah, you guys are good. Keep running ahead. It's a whole bunch of them, and then they just run it. That would have been more believable to me. That would have made me like the fight a little bit more. But the fact that that wasn't incorporated, they just gave Will that power to snap off his arm? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just...
100%.
I don't know, bro.
It was really dumb. It was really dumb. I want to talk about the epilogue because I personally, I think this is where I was like, I love this. I think they close every single character off perfectly, right? They make Jonathan an insufferable loser, by the way, just really fast, like an insufferable, like, I'm sorry. I was like, when they were talking about his movie, I just need to bring it up. When they're talking about his movie about anti-capitalism, I was just like, dude, Oh my gosh. Yep.
You're like,
That
shut
makes
up.
sense. I liked what they did with Nancy and her starting her own thing. I liked what they did with Steve a lot and him becoming a baseball coach. Robin moving and finally like going on with her like own life. I think ending the show off them playing Dungeons and Dragons was kind of awesome. That
That
hit
was amazing.
like really hard. It was incredible. I think giving all the kids their endings too, with Mike becoming, I forgot what TikToker, he's like a really big movie guy, but he was like, Mike just becomes Stephen King, which I thought was hilarious. But it's like Mike becoming a writer, Max and Lucas like living their life together, Dustin moving to college and still hanging out with Steve, and Noah meeting a guy. It was just like kind of like wow, perfect, good job. I thought they closed off the character arcs perfectly, and for me that's why I would say the episode was a 7. Like that was it for me. The final fight was underwhelming for sure. The epilogue made me incredibly happy, and I was like, good, like you killed this, you know?
Yeah. I was at a 4 out of 10 until the epilogue.
Nice.
Like, I got it to a 6 out of 10 only because, well, one, I was liking everything. I was liking the fact that the graduation scene, that was
awesome.
funny. Like, the fact that he did everything Eddie, that's his name, right? Eddie said he was going to do when he got his diploma. I thought that was incredible, especially when Dustin and Homegirl invited him to the party, and then Mike goes, no, wait, there's something else we could do. And then it's Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, that's really cool. And the fact that they did finish a campaign, but the way they finished that one, I loved. I actually felt a little emotional, like seeing them put their books away. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty nice. But I think that was the cherry on top for me, where it's like, okay, I'll give it 2 notches up. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's that scene, especially when his sister and their friends come down and continue it on, and he looks down a little happy but also sad. I thought that was a very nice touch. And the end credits were really good too. That was a perfect song to finish it off.
It was really good. It honestly, fantastic epilogue. I think something that's important for me with this show is, even still with probably this being the worst season, I will probably think of this show very fondly after the fact. I don't think this is a Game of Thrones situation, even in the slightest. I think people saying that are blowing the, like, how bad this is, like, over. It's not that bad, really. Look at the scores. Like the people speak, you know? The Game of Thrones season 8 is most episodes under a 6.
Dang.
Yeah. Stranger Things.
Seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I'm well aware of what happens. I'm well aware of what they do to their big bad and how awful that was, you know? Like, we think what they did to Vecna was bad. Holy crap. Like, no, they don't even give their villain, like, a big final fight. They kill him insanely quick. Regardless. Like, it's clear that people are gonna say that for the, like, yeah, look, like, it sucks, but, like, none of those people are actually watching it. Truthfully, it has problems, and a lot of problems, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that this was one of the most awful things I've ever seen. It just isn't. It was very what it was. It was very safe, very basic, and again, not what I expected from them, because I kind of just always thought the Duffer Bros were a lot smarter than that.
Yeah.
But the show was too big, and that's where I think it falls. But needless to say, I enjoyed this season still. Talking about it was fun, and this show is awesome, and I will love it forever.
Watching everything again, I think I'm going to show a little bit more appreciation for season 2. Right now, I'm enjoying it. I think it's way more intense than what I remember. I can't wait to get to season 3 because I think I might appreciate it a little bit more.
I love it.
But obviously, when I get to season 4 again, I'm going to be in love because season 4 is my favorite season. Like, season 4 is unbelievable. It's the exact danger that I needed. I'm never going to forget that episode where Eddie's reacting to Homegirl getting, like, split.
Yeah.
Because at first I was watching and I'm like, okay, Stranger Things, new character, he's awesome. Let's get into it. Let's see what the issue is going to be this season. And then when that happens, I was like, how the hell are they going to beat this guy? So I think that's the reason why I'm way more down on season 5, because this isn't exactly at all how I thought they were going to beat Vecna, because the introduction to Vecna, even though we all know, when you watch season 1 through 2 again, you'll see moments where you know Vecna's there. But, like, season 4, him appearing, him doing all this stuff to these kids, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. It blows my mind. So having this season kind of nerf him, or not just kind of, like nerf the heck out of him, it's kind of like, it's a huge letdown. But I still think the way the story wrapped up, the epilogue, saves this show.
Mm-hmm.
It saves it 1,000%.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I think later on, if I just decide to rewatch it by myself, or if I meet someone that for some reason hasn't watched Stranger Things and I watch through the whole show, I think I'll like the ending, like the final episode, a lot more because there won't be any anticipation to it. I'll just be watching it through and I'm like, yeah, that was what it was. I think I'd actually be a little bit higher on it when I do that. But unfortunately, that's not the situation here. And I did have to deal with years of hype, years of excitement. And again, I go on record. I'm usually not the guy that gives into stuff like that. Even still, when all those people were dropping those theories, I'm like, oh, this is fun to talk about. But I was so confident they weren't going to do any of that. I just know they weren't. They would have set it up more. Especially with the way the show does twist, they make it very obvious in the beginning. So in hindsight, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess. I didn't think about that. But I enjoyed it. And I love this show so much. And I don't think this season ruined the way I feel about it at all. Like, even in the slightest.
I think it hit me pretty hard. Like, in a way of me knocking it down a bit. I almost gave this whole show a 7 out of 10. I almost did. Close to a 6.
Whoa.
But me rewatching this whole series again, me being on season 2, I'm gonna stick with an 8, and I might go up to a 9, just for the total of it, because season 1 is unbelievable. Like, I'm telling you, when you watch it again, it's so good, man. And then season 2, it has that fear factor that really makes you think, holy crap, there's no way they can get out of this. And that's my problem with season 5. There just seem like way too many ways of easy strategies to get out of the situation they were in. And I don't feel like, maybe that's the reason why I'm really against it, because it never felt like that. It never felt like they were safe. It never felt like they always knew what was like, how to get out of situations sometimes. It was luck, but with season 5, it was just too safe for me, man. It was way too safe.
And I think that's valid. I think a lot of the criticism around the show right now is valid, and I think a lot of people that are praising the finale are also valid. For me, I think that's why I land in more of just the good category, because I wasn't too upset by it by the end. You know, by the end of that fight, I was like, all right, if that's it, I'll be upset. But the epilogue wrapped up perfectly, and I was like, I'm not upset. Good job. Good job, show.
You know, imagine if that fight, like them, like, you know, because, oh, wait, actually, I did want to ask you this. When they were driving in the cars heading back to the little portal, did you think something was going to hit them?
Yes!
I low-key thought that Vecna was going to come out of nowhere.
They kept talking like, all right, Jim, ready to get out of here? Can't wait. In standard movie, TV show, anything, whenever the character's talking about how easy that was, usually something happens. And nothing happened. It was that easy. Maybe we're missing the point. Maybe the point of it was that it just was easy, and they're just all so talented. Phil, you completely cut out. Oh, there we go. You're back.
I don't know, man. I just really, the whole time I was at the edge of my seat, because I was hyped, because when I saw there was a 50 an hour left, I was like, where's it going to happen? I was literally sitting at my screen going like,
yeah,
where? Because when they're driving through like the dimension and stuff, and you're seeing like all the little buildings, I'm waiting for either an army truck to hit them, or even like the Mind Flayer to come out of nowhere in the shadowy figure and just be, where are you going? I was waiting for it, but when it didn't happen, I was like, well, okay, blow it up. I just went blow it up. I didn't even care when they got captured. I was like, I don't care who dies. I don't care what happens. Just blow it up. Just get out of here.
Last thing I'll say, this is a little personal. I think something that like makes me appreciate the final episode a lot more was the fact that I watched it with like people I love, like my family, you know? I don't watch a lot of things with people. The majority of the things I watch and like review on this channel, I usually watch by myself. Usually. So it's nice to be able to watch something that I love so much with other people that love it almost as much as I do, or more than I do. and it makes the environment so much better. Where like my older brother's sitting in the back complaining, saying this is like whatever, like what, this is stupid. And then like my cousins are sitting next to me and they're talking about like, this is awesome, like I'm having so much fun. They didn't say that. It doesn't sound like a real human said that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone was having a good time at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think truthfully what I'll like take away from Stranger Things as a whole was how it really connected me with my family and how we were all able to watch something like this special. And I don't know. I think that's kind of what it's all about, right? Like, yeah, I love quality. I would have loved a banger 10 out of 10 ending, but of course I'd want anything to be like that. So I think being able to share that moment with my family, this is a show that we'll talk about probably for the rest of our lives, you know, and that's something that's special to me.
So would you recommend this show?
Yeah.
To families?
Yeah, no, dude. This ending wouldn't make me stop recommending the show at all. I would tell you, dude, watch all of it. That was important to me. This finale I wasn't like, that's so bad, no one should watch this show, that's a waste of time. No. I've talked to other people. I've been messaging people like, hey, what did you think of the finale? So many people telling me it wasn't exceptional, but it was satisfying. And I'm like, okay, I get that. The average person that I've talked to has not said it's garbage. My older brother didn't even say it was garbage, and he hates everything.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. To me, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think a lot of general audiences are a lot happier with this. I was sitting in that room, and I looked at my older brother. I was like, dude, Twitter is going to hate this. I can already tell. I feel it. I felt it in my heebies. And I was pleasantly surprised to go on my Twitter and see everybody gushing over it. Like, wow, this was so good. And I'm like, okay, I disagree, but I'm happy you loved it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Stranger Things is special. If you've never seen it and for some reason you're watching this, still go watch it. If someone sees this later down the line, hears anyone talk about Stranger Things, just watch Stranger Things. It's so damn good. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. I think the rewatch is helping me like too, because at first if I didn't rewatch like all the seasons and then just watch this and end it, I probably would have been like, I don't know if I would recommend this to people. But with the epilogue and even just season 1 in general, I would 1000% recommend this to people. Yeah. I would, because it still wraps it up in a bow, like ends the story up in a bow. And I think that from start to finish, I guess that's still the important thing about it.
Yeah. It's a special show, dude. And hold on, I want to, really fast, before we close again, I want to check the IMDb episode score, because I remember it being higher than I thought it would. I think last time I checked, it was at an 8 out of 10. I think now it's probably at like a 7, like a low 7. Let me see. My phone is geeking right now.
It could probably be like a 7.4, 7.5.
Yeah, it's at a 7.8. So again, people aren't hating it. Like, people aren't hating. I think the Letterboxd score, because Letterboxd gave it a thing, was at like a 3.4. It was either people giving it a 5 out of 5 or people more where I was, 3.5, 3 stars. Counter that to the final episode of Game of Thrones being a 4 out of 10.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
You're going to sit here and tell me it's the same. No, it's not. But anyways, Phil, you have anything to say before we close?
Just guys, I know like there's some people who haven't seen this, who haven't even seen Stranger Things season 5. If you guys are true Stranger Things fans, go watch it. Go watch it, finish it, either be satisfied or unsatisfied. I don't know. Like, watch Hamilton if you're not satisfied. But I think you guys will like it. I think you guys will enjoy it. And I think that Netflix has a all-timer on their hands to keep people coming back to their app.
100%.
Even though they still piss me off, they have an all-timer.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah.
That was another episode. A special episode of the Film Podcast, where we review films, TV shows, and everything entertainment in the way that anyone can enjoy. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe on all the things. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify for you audio listeners. We'll see you guys next week for the big one. Stay safe, guys. See ya.
Peace.